To steal a phrase from Mr. Rogers, it is a wonderful day in the neighborhood, and today that neighborhood would be Mount Lofty here in Toowoomba, Australia. Toowoomba is a town in Queensland, and right there you see the house where I've been spending the last, I spent one night and I'm going to spend this evening as well. That is the home of a absolutely wonderful, wonderful, beautiful family that were kind enough to welcome me into their home from Airbnb. And they live in just a beautiful neighborhood that I'm going to share some of with you as I would take a walk down to the Queen's Park, I think it's called, here in this beautiful city that's it's actually known as the Garden City. And the homes in this city are just or the homes, at least in this neighborhood, I should say. Haven't seen all of the city, but they're just really, really beautiful. It's really a wonderful neighborhood. It's a small town. Toowoomba is a town probably of about 150,000, perhaps. You can take a look online, I'm sure, and see what the population is. But the median price of homes in this neighborhood, I was told, was probably about 400,000 or 500,000 Aussie dollars, and you could convert that as well online if you were so inclined to do so. But I spent a day, or last evening, I actually walked down this very street, and in doing so, I had found myself wishing that I had brought my camera with me and shared a little bit of it with you. Look at these fruits that are on this tree. Not quite sure what they are, but they sure look interesting nonetheless. Almost like a lime or some type of a citrus. But the park that I'm going to, it's probably the better part of about a 20-minute walk from the house, and it's just a really, really beautiful walk. As I'm filming this, it's early July at the moment, and the temperature is probably in the low to mid 50s, if not even the low 60s perhaps. But I'm going to try to share some of the nicer homes with you as I walk along, trying to find my way down to the park. It really is a special place. When I woke up yesterday morning, my intention was to actually drive to Brisbane, or Brizzy, as they would call it down here. They seem to have a nickname for just about everything here in the land down under. And I woke up yesterday morning, I was going to go to Brizzy, and one of you that followed me online were kind enough to suggest that I come over and visit Toowoomba, which was a place that I had thought of visiting some time back, but for whatever reason opted not to. And here I am walking the streets of Toowoomba. So it really is a wonderful town. I was actually told that Toowoomba tends to be a little bit on the conservative side, if you will. I could be mistaken, but that's what somebody told me today as I was having some coffee. So we'll go up just a little bit more, and then I'll share some of the homes once I get off of this main street that I'm walking upon. I thought this might be of some interest to you. As I'm walking along, there's a building site here where they're putting in a home, and I bet it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful home. Look at the soil here. You can see the soil just looks really, really fertile. Is that the right word? Fertile. But the soil here looks just fantastic, and kind of interesting how they're digging this out. Quite interesting how they're laying this out. It's actually, they got these these like tunnels or whatever, maybe where they're going to build the foundation, I would imagine. All right, let's get on with the walk. All the while I was walking down here to Mary Street, the setting sun was in my eyes, so it wasn't the easiest to share some of the homes I was walking past. But now I find my way to Mary Street, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the spot where I was yesterday, where I was taken aback by this very same house right here. It's rather a beautiful little home with just a really nice garden in front of it. I don't know how much of this I can share with you. Another interesting thing that I notice about a lot of the homes here is that they have water tanks. A lot of these homes will have water tanks on the property. At least that's what I'm assuming, that they are that they're water tanks. But not too far from the park, where I'm hoping to share some of the beautiful gardens with you down there in the Botanical. Well, I think it's called Queens Park, if I'm not mistaken. Here's a nice little home right here. Most of the homes here have metal roofs, such as you see right across the street at that home right there. See, it's got metal roofs and nice shutters, and a white picket fence. Look at that. Really has a nice feel to it, this community. I'm so much more of a small community type of a person than the big city, even though I spent 3 years of my life living in a metropolis known as Budapest, Hungary, in beautiful Magyarország, also known as Hungary. But just really is a nice little town. And I would imagine that there's a lot of people out there watching a video such as this. They have an idea about Australia, but they never really just see the normal, well, I don't know, normal, but the typical day in the life of an Aussie. And it really is a wonderful opportunity to be able to share it with everybody. There's a mom taking her kids home from wherever they are. I think it's a school holiday right now, if I'm not mistaken. So not too far down this street here is where I'll actually come across the park. Just very, very nice. Really, this is a wide street. As I'm walking around the cockatoos, I think they're cockatoos, the big white birds that you're going to see around a lot of Australia, are starting to come back to the trees and for their night's roost is what I think it's called. So should be down to the park here just very, very shortly. I'm almost to the park, and look at this beautiful home right here. Just a stone's throw from the park that I'm about to share with you, and I can see smoke coming out of the roof there chimney, and tell me they're probably having a nice wood burning fire inside. There's another home. So let's go check out the park. You just never know what you're going to come into when or come across, I should say, when you're out on a walk and talk. Look at these I don't know, windmills or whatever you want to call them. They are there's several of them here on display, and there's some different information panels, if you will, about the various types. This is for example, this is the economy. You're looking here at the economy windmill right here. So that is the economy windmill, William Isaac Tustin, a replica of a copy of an imported economy windmill erected originally on Jimbor Station, 1880. Direct drive, self-governing windmill with the wind wheel leeward of the wind. So there you have an economy windmill. As I zoom out to give you a better shot. You just never know what you're going to come across when you're out on a walk and talk such as this. And here I'm looking at a display of windmills right in front of a museum called Cobb and Company Museum here in Toowoomba. And look at these windmills. This windmill right here is it's called an economy. It's called an economy windmill. And they have several windmills here, and some of them have different information about, I guess, the type of windmill that it is. But sure is interesting to look at. Can't say the last time that I came across such a display of windmills as you see here. And Toowoomba, this is the Toowoomba campus, it says, I believe. So there is look at that. And if I bring the camera just around over here, you will see the Cobb and Company Museum. And I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to visit that museum before I leave Toowoomba, but perhaps I will. It's I believe it's a museum of carriages, and the last time that I was in a museum of carriages would have been over in Majorozog, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so here are your windmills. Look at that, the Southern Cross, and then just over here is the entrance to the park. And you think you've seen some beautiful parks before? Wait until you see what I'm about to share with you here in Toowoomba. Really a special place. And here would be the entrance, or one of the entrances, one of the many entrances to the park here. And it is, I had the opportunity to walk through here yesterday, and it really is a special place. And every year they have the Carnival of Flowers here in Toowoomba. And if you just search that on YouTube or what have you, Google Images, you'll see how wonderful that Carnival of Flowers is. And all through here you can see they've got the beds, which I'll share with you here. They've got the beds all planted right now. It is it's the middle of winter, if I'm not mistaken. It's about the middle of winter, and the festival is I believe starts the 18th of September. And I sure would like to think that I'd be able to come back for that special festival. I think it would probably be really a wonderful, wonderful time. But you can just imagine all of these flower beds in bloom with various bright colors. Look at that. I'm not sure what type of flowers they are, but isn't that nice? It's gonna be beautiful. Come out across over here. You can see even more. Just look at that. I'll just do a nice slow pan for you. But all the way across the back, they just have these flower beds. And boy, I can imagine how beautiful these are going to be when they actually start to bloom. Really is something else. Look at that. Wonderful. That's something. Wow. Boy, it sure is nice. Pan around here, you see a lot of youngins on their bikes. All right. And not too far from here is the dog park. I was here yesterday, and there were loads of dogs. Look at this here. Can you just imagine? Just imagine all of this in bloom. Isn't that something? Everywhere you look, they've got these beautiful flower beds. Just spectacular. Look at that. There's somebody there on their way to the dog park, I'm sure. Just up ahead is a interesting tree. Look at that tree just over here. And here's a map of the Botanic Gardens right here. If you can see that. Showing you where I'm situated. Wonderful. And just through here would be the dog park. Look at this. Now, yesterday being Sunday, there were many more people here with their dogs than I see here tonight. But there's still quite a few people here letting their dogs enjoy a rather nice winter afternoon, to be quite honest with you. Temperature is, oh goodness gracious, temperature feels like it's probably in the mid-60s, to be quite honest with you. And as I walk along, you see these trees have these plastic sleeves on them for whatever purpose. I'm sure there's somebody out there that would be able to tell me what those are. But here's the dog place. Oh, so here you go. Very nice. Oh goodness, there's a whole gaggle of dogs right over here. Very nice. Okay, folks. Just walk a little bit. This park is rather large. It is. It sure is a good size. Look at all these little dogs here. See a lot of look like Dachshunds, which is one of my sister's favorite kind of dog. I think those little ones have a unfair advantage to the bigger one as they're throwing the frisbee around. All right. So there's your walk and talk of Toowoomba, at least part of Toowoomba. What a special place. And boy, don't think for a moment that I'm not appreciating every minute that I find myself down here in the land down under. That's the very same land that was kind enough to extend a 1-year visa to me. Can you imagine that? I came down here on a 90-day visa, and never in my wildest dreams that I believed that I was going to actually have the opportunity to spend an entire year down here. But we will see, as the saying goes, whether or not that is actually the case. So time will tell. But boy, what a special place in this world. All right, have a great day. Bye bye. All right, folks. Can you give me a shout out? That's what. No, not what this little guy said, but this other young man asked me if I have a YouTube channel and if I could give him a shout out. Look at this. All right. So there he is. So let's give him a shout out. What's your name? Wait a moment. What is it?
Outdoor biker.
Oh, okay. You live in this city?
No, I live a bit further away.
You live on a farm?
Sort of.
Sort of. A
Yeah.
farm, huh? And who's this little one?
Oh, that's my cousin.
That's your cousin? Wow, fantastic. Okay. Toowoomba's a pretty cool place. Oh, and who's this? Your sister?
Yeah, it's my sister.
That's your sister. Does she want to be on YouTube also? She does? You want to be on YouTube also, huh? What's your name?
Frankie.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Well, have a good evening. Thank you for sharing this beautiful place with me. Do another wheelie. Can I see? All right, here we go. He's going to do another wheelie. Let's see if he can do it. Okay, here he comes. Don't hit your cousin. There you go. Look at that, folks. Wow. Pretty good. All right. Have a great day from Toowoomba.